Hello and welcome to your meditation practice today. With me, my name is Chloe. Thank you for being here. For today's meditation practice, please make sure that you're going to be warm enough, that you're going to be comfortable, and that your environment is quite quiet. You could help yourself out with that by using headphones if you need to, and telling people that you share your space with that for the next 10 minutes or so you'll be meditating, so maybe to give you some quiet time. Once you've made those arrangements, let's get comfortable. You might like to lie down, you might like to be seated. Make any final rearrangements or adjustments that you might need to, and then let your eyes close. We'll begin today considering our facial expression, and consider that one's facial expression is how we allow the world to perceive us. There are many times when we metaphorically will bite our tongue, or swallow our feelings, or hold back in some sort of way that might lead to tension in the face. For now, can you put that to one side by allowing your facial expression to relax? Pay particular attention to your jaw. Making sure that the teeth are not clenched. Relaxing around your eyes, across your eyebrows, between your eyebrows, your forehead. And in some way, feeling the muscles of the throat soften. You might do this by paying attention to how your breath feels as it passes down your throat. And imagining that the tickling of the breath as it moves through the throat softens the muscles there. And now begin to consider the way that you put yourself across to be. All of the opinions that you hold of yourself. Perhaps even the way that you dress, the way that you speak. All of the things that we've taught ourselves to do in order to be seen in a certain way. And I'd like you to imagine that just for now, you are putting all of those things into a bag in your mind. And I'd like you to imagine that just for now, you are putting that bag down. You are putting that bag to one side. Next, consider what you think the world might think of you. Other people's opinions. And put all of those adjectives into another bag. And again, just put that bag down. Put that bag for now to one side. And finally, consider all of the environmental factors that might feed into your personality. Where you work, the people who you surround yourself with, the town or city that you live in, All of those things that feed into our personality, that feed into our ego. And if we were in a slightly different environment, that might nurture a different part of our personality, for the better or for the worse. And imagine that you are putting all of those environmental factors for now into a bag, and you're putting that bag down, you're putting that bag to one side. And so essentially we're left with what you might consider to be a blank slate. You might also be left with what feels a little closer to the truth of who you are. That's not to say that all of those things that we put to one side are not important. It is to say that most of us live each day quite habitually. We do things on repeat. Thoughts repeat themselves in our minds. Actions become habits. Habits start to feed into our personality as well. And if we were to step away from a place, from a situation, there is a little space. And often that space is non-reactive, and that space becomes truth. The wonderful thing about space is that when we give ourselves permission to be there, we might feel quite inspired, as there is now room for new thoughts to formulate, for inspiration to come through. Give yourself permission to just be in this space. Becoming aware of your breathing. And starting to breathe slightly slower and slightly deeper. The breath, our inspiration. Can you imagine that each breath you take is you saying yes to life? Perhaps those slow, deep breaths and that yes makes you feel like you can slightly sit a little taller. Remember that there is a huge part of you, a spark, a flame within you that truly desires to experience life. And with every breath you take, you are saying yes to this existence. Your organism wants you to be here, wants you to be alive. Your organism wants you to thrive. Feel that with each breath that you take. A big, giant yes. Bringing the hands to meet in prayer pose. Keeping the eyes closed, but perhaps drawing the chin toward the chest a little. The meditation is drawing to a close, but before you open your eyes, consider that when you do allow them to reopen, that you're looking upon the world with enthusiasm, with a renewed desire to be here. Can you feel that ever so slightly lift the corners of your mouth? Can you let that feeling excite you a little? Can you let that feeling excite you a lot? And just when you feel ready to, begin to flutter open your eyes, coming back to your space, coming back to your environment with perhaps a feeling of vitality, a feeling of hope and enthusiasm. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.